Hi guys, it's Dr. Pam and I'm here with this week's burning question. And it comes from a client in clinic who had to take their dog into the emergency room the weekend before for some issues, and they ran diagnostics, they gave prescriptions, and then they also sent her home with a veterinary diet. Now my client is very astute, and so she flipped over that bag and she read the label because she knows how. And she said, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe they want me to feed that." And she was very upset, understandably so. She was very upset. And she said, "How can they do that?" And so here's my answer. They don't know any better, guys. When I went to school, we had one nutritional course. It was the Small Animal Clinical Nutrition. And it was taught out of a book made by Morris Animal Foundation, okay? And so at that time, we learned all that we could from that one book and we moved on, right? When we get out and practice, the only nutrition that we get is when we go to CE, and it's the research that these companies do. And so we talk about research. Now that's the bread and butter for the veterinary brain. We love our research. Research proves that we're going in the right direction, right? Okay, so there's that. And then the further way that we learn about nutrition is that we have the pet food companies' reps who come in and teach us about each new diet, and they have a position now, don't they, right? So we don't have any other opportunities. And so I know more about whole food nutrition and also real food nutrition because I got out and I was excited about it and I wanted to learn more. As I told you before, I had seen that my patient's level of health for the first 7 years of my practice was going down. And I wanted to know what was happening and why weren't these diets working. That's what spurred me on. Now, I went through all of this stuff in the last 18 years and combined different things from different courses, most of it being human, retrofitted it to dog, and created a system that works in our practice to bring about a lot higher level of health and longevity for our dogs. But regular vets don't have that. And so, I understand you're being upset. I understand that you want the best for your dog. I completely understand that. I'm the exact same way. They just don't have the tools at this juncture, okay? We're going to try to correct some of that for them, but right now this is kind of the way it is. In case in point, I had coffee with a friend of mine. We went to vet school together, and I love her, and she's got a great traditional practice. She does some holistic things, but not a lot, and she just has a very open mind about it. And so we were talking, and she says, I still carry Science Diet because it's got really great research. Bing, hit that little veterinary, bullet point. That's what we want to hear. And so the truth is that she doesn't know what's really in the pet food. She doesn't know what's in the ingredients. She doesn't know the AAFCO guidelines and rules that they have in place. She doesn't understand the federal regulation. You have to go in and go in depth to figure that out. She doesn't know, like we talked about, what was it, the 3% rule a couple of weeks ago? 3% rule is an AAFCO rule where you have a dog food that is actually named something with real beef. So it could be complete diet with real beef. And when you put with real beef, that's the name that you can use when the small ingredient is less than 3% of what's in the bag. So they can name it after a small ingredient when there's only 3% of that. And by the way, that's before they remove the water. Because when you remove water, it drops muscle tissue down to 70% of the muscle tissue is water. So it drops it down. So it's really less than 1%. And you can name a diet like that. AAFCO allows it. It's called the 3% rule. They have a flavor rule, and we see that a lot. I don't know if you remember the name of this. Beefy bits with beef flavor. That diet, even though the bag shows luscious cuts of meat, all full vegetables, and all this beautiful food, it has less than 3% of the small named ingredient, in this case beef. All right? They're allowed to do that. That's called the flavor rule. They write flavor on there. Did you know that? I can guarantee you that most vets don't know that, okay? And then the 25% rule. Any diet that has dinner, recipe, formula, and entree, all of those diets, if that's in the title, there's 25% of the named ingredients. So if they call it beef recipe or beef formula, only 25% is of that named ingredient. And that's before water is removed. So once you remove 70% of the weight, that ingredient goes way down to the bottom of the list and is less than 25% of the diet. Vets don't know these. You barely know these, okay? There's a lot of little intricacies. So I don't think we all go to vet school to say, oh, I'm going to suppress and palliate and give my dogs really bad food to eat. No, we go to vet school because we want to make a difference. We want to change lives. We want to bring dogs back and keep them healthy and change your life by giving you more time. We have no plans to do all that these diets are doing. We just don't have the information. Now I'm going to change some of that for the veterinary world. I'm also going to change some of that for you. Over the years with what I've done, I've created a system. And that system, I am now developing some webinars to teach it to you. And what I'm going to do is teach you my system so you can take this system, apply it to your dog, and decide which real food diet, whatever the market has that's in the real food category, that your dog can actually take in and do well on. It's not just about eating it, it's about using it and thriving on it and becoming a happier, healthier, longer living pet. So I'm going to do that for you guys, but I need you to understand that we've got to bring the veterinary community up. So don't get mad at them. Just know that you can go out and be the advocate for your pet, okay? I hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.